Keep watching the skies. That warning is a defining transmission of 1950s sci-fi cinema. It belongs to The Thing from Another World, an iconic sci-fi film of the era, yet one that arrived to a surprisingly polarizing reception among the sci-fi faithful of its day. More on that shortly. The premise is deceptively simple. Captain Patrick Hendry, a pilot defined by a certain weary professional competence, is dispatched to Polar Expedition 6. It's an outpost of corrugated steel and permafrost where the scientists have discovered something impossible buried in the ice. What begins as an investigation into a crashed flying saucer quickly devolves into a desperate siege when they recover a passenger who isn't nearly as dead as he appears. Alongside classics like The Day the Earth Stood Still and Invasion of the Body Snatchers, this film served as a lightning rod for the anxieties of the atomic age. It was a loose adaptation of John W. Campbell's 1938 novella, Who Goes There? A story sci-fi writers once voted one of the finest in the genre's history. However, the film's decision to strip away Campbell's central conceit of a shape-shifting paranoid mimic rankled the hard sci-fi community. Isaac Asimov famously dismissed it as one of the worst films he'd ever seen. That's unfair for a film that easily outclasses the era's typical bug-eyed monster B movies. While the fans mourned the lost complexity of the book, mainstream critics were captivated by the film's sheer technical brio. Though Christian Nybe is the credited director, the fingerprints of producer Howard Hawks are all over the footage. The fast patter dialogue where characters overlap and interrupt, creating a sense of lived-in urgency. Think Gilmore Girls, but with an alien monster. Then there are the professional crew, the men and women with the ability to do their jobs under pressure. Nikki Nicholson is the quintessential Hawks heroine, sharp, unimpressed, and more than capable of trading barbs with the hero. Visually, Russell Harland's cinematography turns the research base into a claustrophobic trap. His use of low-key lighting and tight-throated compositions transform simple corridors into a maze of shadows. The pacing is relentless. At a lean 87 minutes, the film uses constant business and witty repartee to keep the momentum high, even during heavy exposition. Of course, John Carpenter would later return to the novel's shape-shifting premise in his 1982 remake, finally giving fans the faithful adaptation they craved. But to ignore the 1951 original is to miss a landmark of tension and style. You can currently find both versions paired in the 80s remake collection on the Criterion Channel. Until next time, keep watching the skies.